Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Full Frame House. Thanks for tuning in, and today we're going to take a look inside of our sound case. We built it using mycasebuilder.com, though this video is not sponsored by them, but we highly recommend you use them if you need to cut out a foam or just order a case from them with the custom cutout. We use it every single day for every single shoot, and we found it the best fitting for the needs of documentary shooting or just field recording on the spot, because this case has everything for run and gun sound recording. So let's see what's inside. We built this case with a thought that everything has to make sense. So beginning with the star of the show, this is the MixPre 6. This is one of the best devices for run and gun setups. If you're a one-man team or you have a small team, it is very intuitive, it's easy to use, and it's very powerful. It records 32-bit float, 192 kilohertz if you need that. You can watch full video review of this device in this video right here. The custom cutout could be cut into layers, so if you need to layer up your devices, you can, as you can see here. We have the battery unit for it, AA battery unit for it. That's for extreme situations when all your batteries have died and then the last resort you have is AA's. It's there. And then you have the power supply. And power supply is just USB-C power, so if you lose this or don't have access to this, you can just plug it into any 5-volt USB-C. Moving on next, this is the best batteries you could use for the recorder. And one of the cool things about this recorder is that you can switch batteries by hot swapping them. So you have one on the bottom, and then you flip it over and you put the big one on top. So that way your device is powered by 2 batteries, and if you need to switch any of these, you can just pull one out and the device is still going to be running off of the other one. That's what's cool about this power unit, is that the batteries are hot swappable. The batteries we use are just simple Dracast NPF 550, 570, and this is the bigger one, Ziller NPF 970. Moving on next, 2 chargers for NPF batteries, that's obvious. This tiny cutout has our SSD that we back up all of our sound recordings to, right on the spot or just as soon as we arrive. This device holds all the backed up recordings. It's just easy, plug it in, copy, you know, easy stuff. Moving on next, this is pro grade card reader. Holds up to 2 SD cards. Moving on next, this is the Pelican case with all the SD cards and micro SD cards. And micro SD cards, we're gonna show you what we use them for. Then moving down, we have the charger that holds 6 USB ports. It's just simple AC connector to it. It's to recharge all of our devices. So devices that I'm talking about are Timecode Sync. This is Tentacle Sync E and Tentacle Track E. So these are the devices that we use for lapel mics and to generate timecode into the system. We're even using one right now. So we have 5 timecodes and we have 3 Track E recorders. Live hack. Rip these out, the covers, so when you need to access your SD card, micro SD card, it's not going to be a pain in the butt to take it out because it sits deep and it's really hard to get it out. And that's what we use the micro SD cards for from this case. So everything is in one place. Moving on next, a set of AA batteries. They're mixed up already because we used them up a little bit. We use AA's for this little thing that I told you about that holds AA's and just runs the MixPre 6. But it's not as reliable and it's not hot swappable, so if you lose power and you don't check, it's just going to be turned off. This is very last resort if you want to use AA's. We still have it as last resort. In the bottom here, you see this, there's like a little different. Initially, I made a mistake and I cut too deep in the case. So I had to 3D print the shape to keep the batteries propped up so I can grab them. We used to have AAA's, but we don't use them as much. And AAA's are mainly used for this little guy. This is Tascam DR10L. And It was one of the best recorders of its own time. Right now we just keep it as a spare. Like if we have more than 3 speakers, or if all 3 of them are dead and this guy just feeds off of AAAs, you can just use this. This is a Zoom H6 recorder. And notice how neat everything sits in here. So Zoom just goes in here, you pick it out, there's capsule for it, and there's the other capsule for it with the XY microphones. It took me a good few days to measure everything, to kind of like select the angles and everything else, because the way you put it in the system, it's just measurements of 3D model. So height, width, and depth. So it was kind of challenging, and as you can see, sometimes it doesn't fit right, like it's kind of tilted, but that's okay, as long as it's snug in there. And the capsule fits perfectly. We use this recorder as a backup of the backup. Zoom H6, same thing here. It was a very powerful field recorder of its own time. Right now there's better options, maybe not for the same price, but we just keep it as good old backup device. To the interesting part, the cables and connectors. So connectors and all types of converters are an interesting thing, because you never know what the system has when you arrive to location. So we usually have on hand all sorts of connections, just so you can convert from male to male, or female to female XLR, and RCA to 6.3, or XLR to 6.3. Everything is problem solving, so the more problems you can solve, the better you are as a filmmaker. Next, we have these Shure wireless XLR transmitters, and these are not as reliable because the battery inside dies kind of fast, and there is no way of knowing how much of the battery is left. But it's nice for like short things, like quick interview on the set, or like BTS interview on the set, that you can just plug into the microphone, plug into the camera or recorder, and it's just going to transmit signal. It's pretty good signal, but again, the only issue that I've encountered is the battery life. Then we have these clips. The reason they're off is because these devices, they fit perfectly, but without the clip. So whenever we have talent, we just put these on, clip it in, and there you have it. You can just put it on the belt, put it in an inside pocket, and for the reason of everything fitting snugly in here, we keep these off. Then we have all sorts of cables that we talked about. This is the Female XLR to 3.5. Very useful in some scenarios. The biggest cutout in this case was actually the most difficult one, because there's no way of knowing how much space the coiled cable is going to take up. And what we have in here is coiled XLRs and XLR splitters. And XLR splitters is something that everybody should have, because you can split the signal from either the microphone or sound system and have one signal going +6, one signal -6. So even if you're clipping in one signal, the other signal is still going to be -6, so you're never going to clip. So we have female to male and male to female splitter. So 2 of each. Never failed us. This is the Pig Hog XLR splitters. Very good and very rugged. You know, it doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel weak. It's very nice cables. Moving on next, we have probably the least used cable in here. This is the RCA to 3.5. But again, you never know when a weird cable or weird connector is going to come in handy, so we just keep it on hand always. Next, we have just a pack of brand new 9-volt batteries. We don't have a device for them, but it's always an issue when you have a device that needs them on the set and nobody has 9-volt. Last time we used them, we were on the tour shooting BTS vlog, and we had shotgun microphone with the 48-volt module to it. And that 48-volt module took these batteries, and we went through them probably 2 a day. So very handy to have. Never know when you're going to need them. Next, we have custom-made Mogami cables with Neutrik connectors. These were custom soldered by my friend, but you can do it yourself. XLR is not that difficult. I just like to trust professionals with it. You know, so this is 3 feet, just for short communication. Then I have female XLR to 3.5 jack, which is kind of simple to RCA to 3.5. You never know when you need this. And then from XLR, I have a long 15 feet cable. That's what I talked about. See, this cable is long and you don't know how much space this would take up. So we just went with like 6-inch cutout. And every time I coil it, I try to make it small and then just kind of expand it inside. Maybe it's not the best way to treat XLR, but never had an issue. The last thing in here, we have 6 feet cable. Same thing, Mogami cable, Neutral connector. The best combo you can ever get. And last but not least, 5 tiny cases. This is a Pelican case that holds all of our miscellaneous things. So this is sticky tape for lapel mics. You can get any tape as long as it's graded to stick to a body, because not every double-sided tape can stick to a body and keep sticking to it, because they fall off when person sweats. So this is very good, very grippy, and very cheap. It's like $5 maybe, $8. Then we have the power cable for this unit. So this is all it takes to charge all of our devices that have USB-C. Then one interesting thing that we have is a belt that's made by Viviana straps, or Viviana, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what's the correct way of reading this. Viviana? I don't know. So this is a strap that you put around somebody's waist, and it has a little pocket for the recording unit. And you just slap this bad boy in here, shove it in, put it on somebody's waist, and it's pretty much invisible under t-shirt, under anything, because it's very tight to the body. We just have bags of a bunch of different lapel mounts and mufflers for lapel mics. Same from Viviana Pro. And this is a bag with, this is actually a very cool thing, Velcro sticker for the track. No, this is the Sync E, because they already have the hard Velcro on here. And what you do, you put this soft Velcro on the device that you need to put it on, and it just sticks. Easy. This is made by Recode. This is double-sided tape for lapel mics. One more type of double-sided tape for mics, because there's different mounts for it. And this is Invisible Lav Covers by Moleskine, and it has a whole bunch of different stickers and covers. So you can cover it in white, beige, or black, depending on what your talent wears. And moving on to the 4 cases that are on top of this. The black case holds all the USB-C cables that we charge our devices with. Everything is in one place. So you need to charge anything, you pull out the case, you pull out the charger, boom, it's charging. Next case is our 3.5 connectors for the Timecode. And then these two, we usually carry 2 lav mics with us. If needed more, we carry more, but in a different case. But this case is meant to be carried with 2 lavs and 2 recorders. So this is Sanken COS 11D, and this is the best mic $400 can buy. We couldn't find these cases in US, so we had to buy them from China. If you find something that's similar, that's fine. They're just here to protect the cables, to protect the microphones, because one of the first things that breaks in the microphone is a cable. And one tiny trick that we do to all of our cases, we hide AirTag in it. I'm not going to show you where the AirTag for this case is, but each of our cases has AirTag in it, and it's very useful when traveling, very useful when you just leave it in the car and you know that it's in the car, just for safety. So this is everything that goes into our sound case. Now watch me put it back together in high speed. So this is what's in my sound case. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell button to get notified about future videos, and leave a comment down below. What do you think of this setup? I'll see you in the next one. This is a Pelican, just so you can convert from male to me. Shut up. But for these cameras, we use more professional cables. They plug into extension cord. They plug into extension port. Shut up. Adjust the tension on the bolt or tighten somebody. Tighten somebody. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Oh my. That was good.